Today is day 5. Not gonna put any music in the background. I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Might speed some parts up. I don't know. Yeah, excuse my daughter in the background because she is wide awake and it's like, what time is it? It's pretty late. So, she's the opposite kid. I'm gonna have the volume up pretty high so you can hear it. Hopefully it outweighs the movie she has on. And yeah, let's do this. Oops.
And go ahead and start them up. Make a nice big circle with those shoulders, drawing them up towards those ears and back behind you. Drop them down and relax, and then reverse that direction, pulling up back behind you up to those ears, stretch them in front, and letting them drop back down, straight down to your sides. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to get as much range of motion out of those shoulders as you can each time. And just 5 seconds left till we switch off to that torso twist. And switch it. Arms come up in front of that chest, rotating those shoulders left to right. Try to keep those hips relatively straight forward. They can rotate a little bit, but try to mainly get that rotation coming only from that torso and not through those hips. Rotating those shoulders left to right as much as you possibly can, making sure you're keeping all those muscles nice and tensed. About 5 seconds till we move to just a regular march in place. And start up, get those feet moving. Now start with a really nice small range of motion. As you get further into this, start picking those knees up higher and higher. As long as you're comfortable with that, as long as you have control over those legs, you want to try to get as much range of motion out of those hips as you can. Just starting out nice and light, slowly building up as you go. Now we've got toe touch circles coming up next. Just under 5 seconds left until we switch over to those. And switch it. Reach down towards those toes, get a nice big circle off to the right, up off to the left, and back down to the left, up across the right. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to get a nice big stretch down towards those hamstrings in the center every single time. Coming up off to the left and off to the right, alternating directions, pausing at the top, standing up straight. We're going to switch off to lateral steps plus a swing on those arms. And start up, swinging those arms back and forth across in front of your chest. Just a small step left to right. Make sure that every single time you swing those arms across in front, that you have a different arm on top each time. So don't always bring your left arm on top, or don't always bring your right arm on top. Even though your body's going to have a tendency to want to do that, make sure you always alternate. Let's go ahead and get ready for our last warm-up exercise, the slow butt kickers. And start up. Bring one heel up towards your butt as close as you possibly can. Get a nice tight squeeze on that hamstring, the back of that thigh. You can move relatively quickly as long as it's comfortable for you. Just move whatever pace is comfortable. Make sure you're getting as much of a squeeze on the hamstring as you can. Really trying to get that heel up as close to your butt as is possible. 5 seconds left. And let it relax. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and get ready for our actual cardio workout. This is going to be, again, 6 groups of 2 different exercises. 35 seconds on, 10 seconds off, twice through per exercise. Switching back and forth between 2 different exercises. Our first 2 are going to be a 4 side jack plus 4 punches, and a 3 high knee march plus a forward kick. We're going to be starting off with that 4 side jack plus 4 punches. So stepping off to the side, doing that jumping jack motion with those arms. On that 4th one, you're going to pause, do 4 punches, and then start right back into it again. Make sure you're moving as quickly as you can control. Keep those arms nice and rigid. Keep those legs nice and rigid. Keep that shoulder contracted. Make sure you're moving as quickly as you can, as long as it's comfortable for those joints. Now, when you're doing those punches, make sure those arms are really nice and contracted. Pushing and pulling that arm out and back. Contracting those core muscles, those abdominal muscles, obliques, and lower back nice and tight. Try and keep everything as solid as possible. All right, you got 10-second active rest. Now, you at least keep those feet moving, either walk in place, but preferably a jog or high knees. All right, let's get ready for that next one. 3 marches, 3 high knee marches, and a high kick. So on that 3rd one, you're going to kick that leg up really nice and high. Make sure you're alternating your feet every single time. So every single time you do that kick, you want a different leg coming up. Now the goal of this is to try to push yourself as hard as you possibly can. So try to get that knee up as high as is comfortable for you. The eventual goal is to get that knee up to at least hip height or higher if you can. When you do that kick, same thing goes. Just get that leg up there as high as is comfortable for you. Trying to always get it just a little bit more height each time you try. And go ahead and let that one relax. We're going to move on to that active rest again. Remember, either jog in place or walk in place, a high knee march, just to keep that heart rate up. And we're doing our second round of the 4 side jacks and 4 punches. And 4 punches, nice and quick. Remember, keep everything really nice and solid through your entire body, just stepping off left to right as far as is comfortable, moving those arms as quickly as you can. Don't worry about keeping up with Kelly. You don't have to do the same pace she is. If you need to move a little bit slower, that's fine. If you can move faster than Kelly, that's fantastic. Just make sure that everything is really nice and controlled. You never have any arms or legs out of control at any point through this exercise. About 5 seconds left. And let it relax. Get that active rest coming in again. The jog in place or walking. We've got one more round of the 3 marches plus a high kick. And start up. Nice high knee march. One leg coming up. That opposite leg comes up the second time. Just keep alternating back and forth. Remember, like I said, bring those knees up as high as is comfortable for you, but the end goal is to at least hip height or higher if you can.
Woo.
And we're almost done. Just a few more seconds to go. Keep everything nice and controlled. Bring those knees up as high as you can. And let it relax. Alright, you got 15 seconds of active rest. Try to keep those feet moving. Our next 2 exercises are going to be a crunch plus a single leg drop and a push up plus a lift. So
Stop it. I'm on camera. Like I'm cheating, but I have to move the camera down so you can see me.
You can modify these to make them a little bit easier for you. So go ahead and start off with that crunch with a single leg drop, so laying flat on your back. You can get both those legs straight up over top of your hips, crunch up towards those toes, drop one leg, bring it back up, crunch again, and then drop that opposite leg. Just make sure you're alternating legs every single time after that crunch, making sure you're trying to crunch up as high towards those toes you possibly can. Now if you need to, you can bend that knee to drop that leg down, makes it a little bit easier, or just don't drop that leg as far, just to keep it under control. So you only want to drop that leg as low as you can go without letting that lower back lift up off the ground, letting those hips roll forward. So you want to make sure you keep those abs nice and tight the entire time, especially when you're doing that crunch up towards those toes, and also when you're dropping those legs. So let's go ahead and use that active rest to roll over onto that stomach to get ready for that next exercise, the push-up plus a lift. You're starting on those hands and knees, and start up, 1 push-up, then you lift an arm, another push-up, lift the opposite arm, push up again, lift a leg, push up again, and lift that opposite leg. Just keep that cycle going, starting out with those arms. You want to make sure that you're getting a nice clean form in this, keep that back nice and flat, keep those hips down. If you need to, you can always prop those hands up on something to increase that incline just a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier for that push-up if a regular half push-up is a little bit too hard for you. On the other hand, if a half push-up is too easy for you, you can always move into a full push-up to make it that much more difficult. Alright, so let's move back to that crunch plus a single leg drop, laying flat on your back, those legs directly above those hips. And start up, crunch it, drop one leg, bring it back up, crunch again, and that opposite leg. So again, remember, if you need to make this a little bit easier, you can always bend those knees. It makes it a little bit easier to drop that leg, or just don't drop that leg as far. Same thing though goes for both. You always want to keep those abs contracted the entire time, whether you have those knees bent or those legs straight. Just keep those lungs open, focus on that form, and try to do as clean of a form as you can every single repetition. Almost done, just 5 seconds left. And let it relax, good job. Go ahead and switch back over onto that stomach, those hands and those knees for that push-up plus a lift. And start up, nice flat back, keep a straight line from knee to shoulder. Or every single time you do a push-up, you're going to lift either an arm or a leg, alternating through all those limbs. Just keep those lungs open, don't hold your breath. focus on trying to get a nice full range of motion. Remember, again, if you need to be a little bit easier, just push up off of something a little bit higher, you know, like the base of a chair, the side of a bed. Just that extra incline makes it that much easier. 10 more seconds. Almost done. And let it relax. Good job. Go ahead and stand back up and do our active rest. So get those feet moving. We have an alternating step through and a side step plus a knee coming up next.
Yes,
So
it is.
get ready for that first exercise, that alternating step through.
Hold this for a second. Yeah, back where it was before. Oh, man. Oh, I just felt like it was before. Oh, this is what you call just heavy baby fat. I don't want to see that next. I don't want to keep seeing this. It's not a big of a deal to someone else, but to me, it's annoying. Because I have tons of stretch marks, but you can't see it. Yes, you can. Oh, my sides. But let me stop stalling. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm stalling. Whew, okay.
And start up. So step forward, then step back. Using the same leg to step forward, step back, and then alternate off to the other side. Do the same exact motion on the other side. So you're kind of going into kind of a forward lunge just a little bit, or reaching forward with that front foot. And then you're going to use that same leg coming back behind you, kind of dropping down into a lunge or runner position. So as you do that motion, again, try to do as much of a range of motion as is comfortable for you, so you can actually go a little bit further than Kelly if it feels comfortable on those knees and those hips, and as long as you can control it. Just keep that motion going. You got 5 seconds left. Just keep alternating those feet back and forth. And active rest, so jog in place. Keep those feet moving, at least doing a walking in place. We're doing that side step plus a knee next. And start up, step up nice and wide. Pull that same leg up across in front of your body. Back out again. Stand up back straight, those feet together. Then kick that opposite leg out. Do the same thing in the opposite leg. So make sure you're getting a really nice wide step. The wider you go, the harder it's going to be. So if it's a little bit too hard for you, keep that step a little bit narrower. The more range of motion you push into it, the more difficult the exercise will become. So pick a range of motion that is going to be challenging for you, that you can still control with proper form. Just keep it going, keep those lungs open. You got 5 seconds left. And let it relax, go into that active rest. So jog in place, walk in place. We've got our next round of the alternating step throughs coming up next. And start up. One leg step forward, then step back into that runner's lunge. Then do the same thing in that opposite leg. Just alternating back and forth. And if you want to make it harder, always either speed that motion up or increase that range of motion on those legs. The further you go, the harder it's going to be. And if you need to make it easier, just do the opposite. Slow the motion down and limit the range of motion. So just keep that motion going, keep those lungs open, pushing yourself as much as you can control, as much as is comfortable for you. And we're almost done. And let it relax. Good job. Get that active rest going. We have one more round left of that side step plus a knee. So go ahead and get ready for that. And start up. Nice wide step to the side. Pull that knee up and across. Same thing with the other side. Just keep alternating back and forth. Keep those obliques, those abdominal muscles, that lower back nice and contracted. All those core muscles, as well as all those muscles through your legs and those arms. 20 seconds left to go. Just keep those lungs open. Keep those legs moving. And we're almost done. Just 5 more seconds to go. Keep that motion going a little bit longer. And let it relax. Good job. Go ahead and get that active rest going. Get ready for our next 2 exercises, which is going to be a plank ankle tap and a reverse step lunge. So if you need to grab a mat, go ahead and grab one for that plank ankle tap. That's the first one we're going to be starting with. Go ahead and
remember when I said And my body starts to slow down. I'm doing too much. I only did 13 minutes of the video. It's really a 30-minute video. So I already did like half. But this is what I'm talking about. That's my body shuts down. Like, if I'm walking up to you, I started to just slow down. And for a concussion, this isn't normal. Okay, so this is day 5. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm not gonna do too much and overdo it my body. Because then again, I still have to put my bed down. I put it up so I can have space. I'm gonna have to put it back down. Alright, so day 5. Woo. Hey, so I was gonna work out. Today is Friday. I did a workout session. Gosh. Probably that was Monday, I think. Yeah, it was Monday. I did a workout session and it was okay. I kind of shut down at the end because it was too much. I think this plan this week, I'm overwhelming myself, so I gotta try something else. Today, this week it really wasn't great because right now I'm shutting down. I'm just able to talk. There it is. There go right there. So I'll try again next week. I've been shutting down a lot this week. Like, maybe it's because I'm overthinking it. That might be it. But I can't. Well, I can't. I don't like discouraging words. I don't want to use discouraging words, especially a moment like this. At this moment, I don't know what word I can use. So I really don't want to discourage myself. At this moment, it just won't happen. That sounds better to me. Instead of just saying I can't. Right now, it's just at a pause. I'll try again next week. Maybe I was trying to do aerobic with a cardio twice this week, and then the normal schedule I had the first week like 3 times. Since week 3 wasn't that great either. Though it seems like this recovery session is not going that great, at the same time I am progressing. I just have to figure out a way to not overwhelm my mind, where my body can do where I need it to do. But that's been a plan the whole time, actually. So seeing physical therapy, operational therapy, which has stopped, but I have to see another neurologist. It's just, they don't know what to do with me, honestly. I'm just like I went from a workers' comp doctor, didn't know what to do, to a, trying to think of the word, what is it called? A mental session, because they felt maybe I was like mentally off. No. Then I went to a neurologist that said she's a rehab specialist. She knows what to do. Then I went to a operational therapist, physical therapist. Didn't do their jobs. That was a whole month. Wasn't even a month, actually. Probably 3.5 weeks. They didn't do their jobs. Only person that did their job was the speech therapist, and now we're down to going back. Well, I just seen another neurologist, but she says she's a rehab specialist, didn't know what to do, so she sent me to another neurologist, and I have that appointment next week. So it's just a journey of. Only person that can really deal with this is God. That's pretty much it. No one knows what to do. It's kind of frustrating because it seems like from physical therapy, operational therapy, after I was done, I was taking 5 steps back because I was always shutting down. I never shut down as much as I did until I went to physical therapy. Like, I was doing fine before I went, and then as soon as I went, I'm moving back. Like, it's frustrating as I don't know what. To keep moving back, I'm trying to move forward. And so I've been frustrated these past 2 weeks because I feel like I'm not getting the movement that I want to move, how I want to try to help myself. Because I feel like she was saying, well, it's on your own. Maybe you have to work out. What are you talking about? I've been working out all through high school. I never shut down. What are you talking about? You're just out of shape. You get back in shape. And I'm trying to do that, but I'm shutting down. So it's kind of like, oh man, it's a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, from the get-go, when I thought about making a recovery series, I'm thinking every week I'm gonna be working out a little bit here and there, and progress every week. But maybe I'm just pushing it a little too faster than I think it's gonna be. So I have to go back to my baby steps. And the videos might be boring, but I'm taking steps that are way too big for me. So I'll see y'all next week. We'll work it out. It's gonna get done. We'll work it out. That's the main goal, is to get better than I was before. So I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for watching. Watching my frustration. And yeah. Summer's out.